In the ceaseless currents of modern life, amidst the relentless currents of information and expectation, the profound question gently surfaces: are you truly living or merely existing? Pause for a moment. In this swirling vortex of activity, of obligations and aspirations, do you often find yourself adrift, perhaps feeling a subtle disconnect from the core of who you are or from the true purpose behind your days? The world around us buzzes with constant demands, with the clamor of countless voices vying for our attention, promising quick fixes, instant enlightenment, or the latest trend that will surely, finally bring contentment. Yet, beneath the surface, a deeper yearning persists, a quiet, insistent whisper for genuine meaning, for a clearer path, for an authentic connection to our own understanding of truth. We seek not just to pass through our days, but to truly inhabit them, to experience them with intention and clarity. For centuries, across cultures and epochs, humanity has grappled with these very same fundamental questions. Thinkers, poets, and philosophers have sought to articulate the essence of a well-lived life, to define what it means to truly be asterisk. Consider then the profound and timeless wisdom offered by the revered philosopher and poet Khalil Gibran. From his enduring masterpiece, The Prophet, his words resonate with an almost ancient echo, yet they speak directly to the heart of our contemporary search for authenticity. He wrote, with an elegant simplicity that belies its deep power, "Your daily life is your temple and your religion." Let those words settle. Your daily life is your temple and your religion. What does this truly mean for us, here and now, in the complex tapestry of our own individual journeys? It suggests that the sacred isn't found solely in grand pronouncements or distant sanctuaries, but in the intimate, often overlooked fabric of our everyday existence. It elevates every moment, every interaction, every decision into an act of profound significance, an opportunity for reverence and intentionality. It challenges us to view our routines not as mere obligations, but as pathways to deeper understanding and connection. Now it is precisely this deeply personal, yet universally shared, quest for truth and purpose, this elevation of daily experience to something almost sacred, that finds an extraordinary and foundational companion in another seminal work, one penned in an entirely different era, yet which speaks with astonishing clarity to our most fundamental modern dilemmas. A book that, far from being a relic of the past, offers a powerful lens through which to navigate the complexities of our present moment. I speak of René Descartes' monumental discourse on the method of rightly conducting the reason and seeking truth in the sciences. You might wonder, how can a text composed nearly 4 centuries ago, amidst the intellectual ferment of the 17th century, possibly hold profound answers to the unique anxieties, the rapid technological shifts, and the epistemological uncertainties of the 21st century? The answer lies not in specific prescriptive solutions, but in its foundational principles. Descartes invites us on a journey, not just through his own philosophical awakening, but into the very architecture of our own minds. He provides a blueprint, a rigorous method for discerning truth from falsehood, for constructing knowledge on solid ground, and for approaching every aspect of life with clarity, skepticism, and methodical reason. It is a work that, at its heart, empowers the individual to become the architect of their own understanding, to not merely accept received wisdom, but to build conviction through personal inquiry. In an age saturated with information, much of it contradictory or misleading, the ability to think critically, to doubt effectively, and to construct a coherent framework for understanding the world and our place within it is not merely beneficial, it is absolutely essential. The discourse on the method doesn't just offer philosophy, it offers a practical guide to intellectual self-reliance, a pathway to truly living with intention, purpose, and a well-reasoned grasp of reality. It's about transcending mere existence and consciously shaping a life built on truth and genuine understanding. It's about finding your own temple, your own religion, not in dogma, but in the rigorous, joyful pursuit of reason itself. Welcome, dear friends, to a quiet space we're carving out together, a space for reflection, for wisdom, and for connection. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we begin a journey, not just through words on a page, but through the enduring heart of a timeless masterpiece, Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. For nearly a century, Gibran's profound poetic prose has captivated readers across the globe. Born in Lebanon, he was a poet, philosopher, and artist whose works transcend cultures and generations, speaking directly to the human spirit. The Prophet, first published in 1923, is his most beloved creation. It tells the story of Al-Mustafa, a prophet who has lived in the city of Orphalese for 12 years, awaiting the ship that will carry him home. On the day of his departure, the people gather around him, asking him to share his final wisdom on the great matters of life, love, marriage, children, work, joy and sorrow, freedom, reason, friendship, beauty, and death, among many others. His responses are not rigid doctrines, but lyrical meditations, offering gentle guidance and profound insights into the human condition. It's a book that doesn't preach, it whispers truths that resonate deep within us. My own journey with the Prophet began years ago, during a particularly tumultuous chapter of my life. In my early 20s, I was grappling with sudden loss and a career crossroads, feeling utterly adrift and uncertain. It was a period filled with pervasive emptiness. A friend, witnessing my struggle, handed me a worn copy, simply saying, "Read this, it might help." I remember settling into a quiet corner, skeptical but open. As I turned the delicate pages, Gibran's words didn't offer quick fixes, but something far more potent: understanding. His discourse on sorrow and joy, for instance, spoke directly to my grief, not dismissing it, but validating its place alongside joy. He wrote, "Your joy is your sorrow. Unmask the deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain." This was a revelation, an anchor in a storm. It reassured me that my feelings were not aberrations, but fundamental parts of the human experience. It helped me see that even in profound sadness, there was room for growth, for a deeper appreciation of life's beauty. That book didn't just comfort me, it gently guided me toward a more compassionate way of experiencing my own life, teaching me to embrace the full spectrum of emotions rather than resisting them. It was a lifeline that taught me to look inward, to find meaning even in the silence. And it's this deeply personal, transformative power that I want to explore with you. My goal with this series isn't just to recite Gibran's beautiful verses, but to truly unpack them. We'll translate his timeless, poetic wisdom into practical insights for our modern lives, seeking clarity in today's complexities. How do his reflections on giving apply to our consumer-driven society? What does reason and passion teach us about finding balance in an increasingly polarized world? We'll delve into the nuances, seeking to understand not just what Gibran said, but what it means for us, right here, right now. Consider this an invitation to a shared exploration, a thoughtful dialogue rather than a lecture. We'll approach each chapter with an open mind and a reflective spirit. My hope is to create a calm, inspiring, and truly enriching experience, one that encourages introspection, sparks meaningful thought, and perhaps helps you find your own anchor, your own moments of clarity, just as the prophet did for me. So, take a deep breath, settle in, and let's embark on this journey together. Let us listen to the enduring whispers of wisdom from Al-Mustafa and see how they can illuminate our own paths. Welcome, seeker of truth, to the profound insights awaiting us in this journey. We begin our exploration not with abstract philosophy, but with perhaps the most universal and deeply felt human experience, love. Khalil Gibran, in his timeless masterpiece, dedicates an entire, unforgettable chapter to this powerful force, answering Al-Mitra's poignant question about love with a discourse that is both breathtakingly beautiful and starkly honest. His view of love is anything but simplistic. It is a dualistic force, an intricate dance between immense joy and necessary pain, both crucial for our growth and the deepening of our very souls. Gibran wastes no time in revealing love's wild, untamable nature. He does not sugarcoat its demands, describing it as a master that commands surrender even when its path is arduous. Consider these potent words from the prophet, when love beckons to you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. And when his wings enfold you, yield to him, though the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. This isn't a gentle invitation, it's a profound call to surrender to a force that will indeed transform you, often through discomfort. He continues, painting a vivid picture of love as a threshing floor, where it threshes you to make you naked. It sifts you to free you from your husks. These aren't images of soft breezes and blooming roses, they are images of an intense, purifying process. Love in Gibran's eyes is a crucible, a forge where our essence is refined, our impurities burned away. It crushes us, grinds us, needs us not to destroy, but to prepare us for a higher purpose, for a deeper connection, for spiritual bread. This transformative process also inherently challenges our human tendency towards possession. Gibran beautifully articulates that love is not about ownership or control, but about mutual freedom and expansive space. He states profoundly, love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. This challenges the very fabric of many modern relationships, which often grapple with insecurity, jealousy, and the desire to merge identities. Instead, Gibran offers an alternative: stand together, yet not too near, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow. This isn't a call for emotional distance, but for a sacred respect of individuality. It's about two complete souls choosing to walk alongside each other, supporting each other's unique journeys without attempting to absorb or diminish them. It's in this space, this mutual freedom, that love truly flourishes, unburdened by expectation or demand. Crucially, Gibran's wisdom insists that the thorns of love are just as vital as its flowers for the deepening of the soul. The wounding of love, its inevitable disappointments, heartbreaks, and challenges are not failures but integral parts of its design. The sword hidden among its pinions, the crushing and sifting, these are the very actions that strip away our superficial layers, our ego, our fears, leaving us more vulnerable, yes, but also more authentic and resilient. These thorns teach us compassion, patience, and the true meaning of forgiveness, both for ourselves and for others. Through adversity and love, we learn to endure, to understand the complexities of human nature, and to appreciate the fragile beauty of connection with a profound depth that pure ecstasy alone could never teach us. It is the full spectrum of love, the agony and the ecstasy, that expands our capacity to give and receive. This ancient wisdom resonates powerfully with modern relationships across the spectrum. Romantic partnership strisk. Gibran's words remind us to cultivate not just passion, but also profound respect for our partner's autonomy, allowing for individual growth within the shared journey. When conflicts arise, we can view them not as destructive forces, but as opportunities for deeper understanding, for the crushing that refines our connection. In Family Dynamics Strisk, Gibran's insight encourages us to love without suffocating, to give our children the freedom to forge their own paths, and to honor the unique spirits of our parents and siblings, even when their choices differ from our own. It's about maintaining those separate temple pillars, ensuring each member has space to flourish. Even in a strisk friendship shreksk, this philosophy holds true. True friendship allows for evolution, for periods of less intensity, and for the embrace of a friend's changing self, without demanding they remain static or constantly present. It's about weathering life's storms together, knowing that the thorns of misunderstanding or absence can ultimately strengthen the bond, making it more robust and more cherished. Ultimately, Gibran invites us to experience love in its full, majestic complexity, to embrace its beauty certainly, but also to yield to its demanding, transformative power, recognizing that both joy and sorrow are essential threads woven into the rich tapestry of true connection. It is by understanding and accepting this dualistic nature that we can truly unlock love's profound potential to deepen our souls and enrich our lives. Welcome to Chapter 2 on Marriage Pillars of the Temple. As we continue our exploration, drawing parallels between the clarity and methodical reasoning championed in Descartes' Discourse and the intricacies of human connection, we turn now to perhaps one of life's most profound partnerships. Here, we delve into the celebrated metaphor of marriage, envisioning individuals standing together, not in each other's shadow, but maintaining their unique light and identity. Consider, if you will, the image of a grand temple. Its majesty and permanence are not solely due to the roof it upholds, but fundamentally to the robust pillars that support it. Each pillar stands strong, independently formed, yet undeniably part of a greater, magnificent structure. This powerful visual beautifully encapsulates the essence of a healthy long-term partnership. It's a union where individuals, like those pillars, are distinct, self-sufficient entities, each bearing its own weight, yet collectively contributing to a shared vision, a shared life, a shared temple. This architectural metaphor extends further into the profound wisdom found in the sentiment, "Let there be spaces in your togetherness." Just as light and air must pass between pillars for the structure to breathe and endure, so too must there be room for individual growth, personal passions, and independent thought within a relationship. These aren't gaps of distance or detachment, but rather sacred spaces where each person can truly be themselves, cultivate their inner world, and recharge their distinct spirit. This perspective stands in stark contrast to many modern romantic ideals, which often promote the notion of two individuals merging into a single, undifferentiated unit. We frequently hear phrases like two halves making a whole, or the idea that a partner completes you. While these sentiments might sound appealingly romantic on the surface, they can inadvertently foster codependency, stifle individual identity, and ultimately lead to a sense of loss or suffocation within the relationship. If one's identity becomes entirely entwined with another's, what happens when challenges arise or when one partner inevitably changes and evolves? The structure, built on a foundation of merged identities, risks crumbling, for it lacks the distinct, self-sustaining strength of its individual components. Descartes' method, after all, encourages us to break down complex problems into clear, distinct parts, and similarly, a robust partnership benefits from the clarity and distinctness of each individual within it. The importance of individual growth and the cultivation of personal passions within a long-term partnership cannot be overstated. When each partner continues to learn, to pursue their own interests, to maintain their own friendships, they bring renewed energy, fresh perspectives, and a richer, more vibrant self back to the shared relationship. Imagine two rivers flowing side by side. They can merge into one powerful current, but they also retain their unique sources, their individual tributaries, and their distinct paths before they converge. This continuous personal evolution not only keeps individuals engaged and fulfilled, but also makes them more interesting and engaging partners. It prevents stagnation, keeps curiosity alive, and ensures that the shared journey is always moving forward, enriched by the independent journeys of each person. So, what do these healthy spaces practically look like in a relationship? They manifest in countless ways. Perhaps it's respecting a partner's need for an hour of quiet solitude after a long day, or supporting their weekly hobby group, even if it means temporary separate plans. It could be having distinct friend groups that occasionally intertwine, but also offer separate social outlets and perspectives. Healthy spaces mean celebrating individual achievements that aren't directly shared and encouraging personal learning or career development that might take one partner down a slightly different path for a time. It's also about having separate goals and dreams that aren't always perfectly synchronized, and maintaining a degree of financial independence, even within shared finances, to allow for personal discretion and freedom. Even simple things like having a personal reading nook, a dedicated workspace, or a morning routine that allows for individual reflection are expressions of these vital spaces. Ultimately, these spaces are not about creating distance, but about nurturing the individual strength and uniqueness that, like strong pillars, allows the shared temple of the relationship to stand tall, enduring, and beautiful for years to come. Welcome back, truth seekers, to our ongoing exploration of reason and the pursuit of understanding. While our journey typically navigates the intricate philosophical landscape laid out by René Descartes in his Discourse on the method sometimes, to truly grasp the essence of conducting reason and seeking truth, we must broaden our scope beyond a single text. For, as Descartes himself advocated, the pursuit of wisdom is a universal endeavor, one that extends to every facet of our human experience. Today, we turn our gaze to one of the most profound and universally resonant aspects of life, the relationship between parents and children. This chapter, titled On Children, the Archer and the Arrows, invites us to engage with a revolutionary idea, one that challenges deeply ingrained societal norms and personal assumptions about parenthood. It asks us to reconsider the very nature of our connection to the next generation, shifting from a mindset of possession to one of profound stewardship and respect for individual destiny. At the heart of this transformative perspective lies a passage of timeless wisdom, one that, while not from Descartes, profoundly articulates a truth that resonates with the clarity and intellectual honesty he championed. It's a passage that every parent, every child, every human, perhaps, should contemplate. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you but not from you, and though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. These aren't merely poetic verses, they are a profound philosophical statement urging a complete paradigm shift in how we perceive and practice parenthood. The traditional view often casts children as extensions of ourselves, as miniature versions to be molded, to inherit our dreams, rectify our mistakes, or fulfill our unfulfilled ambitions. This mindset, whether conscious or subconscious, stems from a place of perceived ownership, a belief that because we brought them into the world, they somehow belong to us. But this passage vehemently rejects that notion. It introduces the radical idea that children are not possessions to be molded, but rather independent individuals, souls with their own inherent purpose and trajectory. They are not merely from you, but through you channels through which life itself expresses its ongoing longing, its continuous evolution. This transition from ownership to stewardship is perhaps one of the most challenging, yet ultimately liberating, shifts a parent can undertake. It demands a letting go of control, an embrace of trust, and a recognition of the child's innate sovereignty. The metaphor of the parent as the bow and the child as the arrow is particularly potent. Consider the function of a bow. Its entire purpose is to launch the arrow, to send it on its way, far and true. The bow does not attempt to dictate the arrow's flight path once it's released. It doesn't hold on to it, fearing where it might land or what challenges it might face. Its strength lies in its ability to bend and propel, and then to stand stable, having fulfilled its role. The archer in this metaphor is a higher power, often interpreted as life itself, destiny, or even a divine force that has a vision for each arrow's trajectory. The parent, the bow, is merely an instrument in this grand design. We are bent by life's might, sometimes uncomfortably, to give our children the force they need to launch into their own futures. This bending, this often difficult process of letting go, should be for gladness, for it is in this act of release that we truly enable our children to become themselves. We are to provide the foundation, the love, the values, the guidance, but ultimately, their path is their own. This philosophy takes on even greater significance in the context of modern parenting. Today's parents face immense pressure, societal expectations, the pervasive influence of social media, the relentless drive for academic and extracurricular achievement, and the constant comparison to others. It's easy to fall into the trap of overscheduling, over-directing, and overprotecting, all in the name of ensuring our children's success. We might inadvertently stifle their nascent individuality, pushing them towards paths we deem safe or desirable, rather than allowing their unique inner compass to guide them. The courage it takes to truly embody the spirit of the bow is immense. It requires parents to cultivate a profound sense of trust in their child's innate wisdom, trust in the unfolding of life itself, and trust in their own ability to have provided a stable launchpad. It means accepting that our children will make their own choices, pursue their own passions, and sometimes even stumble and fall, and that these experiences are crucial for their growth, not reflections of our failure. It demands a radical form of love that prioritizes the child's autonomy and authentic self over our own desires, fears, or ego. To truly conduct our reason rightly, and to seek truth in the sciences, we must also apply this discerning eye to the most intimate relationships of our lives. Understanding our role as bows, not owners, is not a diminishing of our importance, but an elevation of our purpose. It transforms parenting from a task of control into an act of profound love, liberation, and respect, allowing our children to become the magnificent arrows they were always meant to be, soaring towards their own infinite mark. Welcome back to our journey through profound ideas. Today, we turn our attention to a chapter that delves deeply into the essence of human connection and contribution, moving beyond the superficial to the truly meaningful. We call this Chapter 4, on giving from the self, not the surplus. Often, when we speak of charity or generosity, our minds immediately turn to material possessions, money, goods, tangible donations. While these forms of giving are undoubtedly valuable and necessary in a world of imbalance, they represent only one facet of a much grander concept. Our focus here shifts from the external act to the internal impulse, from what we possess to who we are. True generosity, as illuminated by thinkers like Khalil Gibran, transcends the mere transaction of resources. It is an outpouring of our very being. Gibran, with his characteristic poetic insight, articulates this beautifully when he says, "It is when you give of yourself that you truly give." This isn't merely a turn of phrase, it's a profound redefinition of giving itself. It challenges us to look inward, to consider the invaluable treasures we carry within our time, our spirit, our unique presence, and how we might share them with the world. Think about that line, "It is when you give of yourself that you truly give." What does it mean to give of yourself? It implies a donation not just of an item, but of a part of your essence. It's an investment of your energy, your focus, your empathy. This isn't about charity in the traditional sense, it's about a deeper, more fundamental generosity that stems from a place of abundance within. True giving in this light is an act of life affirming itself. It's not a calculated exchange where you expect something in return, nor is it a dutiful obligation fulfilled. Instead, it's a spontaneous, joyful expansion of self, a recognition that our lives are enriched not by what we hoard, but by what we impart. When you give of yourself, you are not merely alleviating a need, you are creating a connection, fostering growth, and participating in the shared tapestry of human experience. It's an affirmation of our interconnectedness, a vital flow of energy that strengthens both the giver and the receiver. Naturally, the thought of giving of oneself can sometimes trigger a primal fear, the fear of depletion, of giving too much until there's nothing left. We guard our time, our emotional energy, our personal space, worried that boundless generosity might leave us vulnerable or exhausted. This is a very real and understandable concern in our busy, demanding lives. However, Gibran offers a powerful counterpoint to this apprehension, a perspective that turns the fear on its head. He suggests that the true peril lies not in giving too much, but in withholding. To withhold, he implies, is to perish. It's to stagnate, to diminish the very wellspring from which our capacity to give originates. Just as a flowing river stays fresh and vibrant, while stagnant water becomes murky and lifeless, so too does our spirit thrive through expression and connection. When we constrict our generosity, when we hold back our presence, our empathy, our time, we not only deny others, but we also diminish our own vitality. The act of holding back, paradoxically, costs us more than the act of giving. It can lead to isolation, resentment, and a sense of unfulfilled purpose. Giving of oneself, therefore, isn't a drain, it's a renewal, a continuous cycle of outpouring and replenishment that keeps our spirit alive and engaged. So, how do we translate this profound philosophy into our everyday lives? How do we give of ourselves in small, simple ways that cost nothing but offer immeasurable value? Let's brainstorm some ideas. It might be offering a genuine, heartfelt compliment to a stranger or a colleague. It costs nothing, takes mere seconds, but can brighten someone's entire day. It could be truly listening when someone is speaking, not just waiting for your turn to talk, but actively engaging with their words, their emotions, their perspective. This is a gift of your focused presence. Perhaps it's offering a word of encouragement to someone struggling, sharing your belief in their potential. It could be dedicating 5 minutes of your time to help someone with a small task they're finding challenging, like carrying groceries or figuring out a piece of technology. It might be simply offering a warm smile and eye contact to someone you pass on the street, acknowledging their humanity. Consider sharing your unique knowledge or skill with someone who could benefit, perhaps teaching a friend a simple recipe, showing a family member how to use an app, or offering guidance based on your experiences. Sometimes it's just being fully present with your loved ones, putting away your phone, and truly engaging in conversation or shared activity. Even a handwritten note expressing appreciation or care can be a profound gift of self, infusing your spirit directly into the message. These acts, seemingly small and insignificant, are the very fabric of true generosity. They don't require wealth or status, only a willingness to open our hearts and share the intrinsic richness of our being. They are the selfless acts that weave us more deeply into the human community, enriching not only the recipients but, perhaps even more so, ourselves. As we conclude this chapter on giving, let us carry forward the understanding that our greatest contributions often come not from our surplus, but from our very essence. Let us embrace the wisdom that in giving of ourselves, we truly live. Welcome back to our journey through the profound insights of Descartes' Discourse on the Method. Thus far, we've navigated reason, doubt, and self-discovery. Today, we turn our gaze to a realm often seen as mundane, yet brimming with potential work. We title this chapter, On Work Love Made Visible, for it challenges us to re-envision our relationship with the tasks that fill our days. At the heart of this reframing is a simple revolutionary idea: work at its most elevated is love made visible. Imagine if every action, effort, and creation, no matter how small, were an extension of your innermost spirit, a tangible expression of care, dedication, and intention. This isn't about grand gestures, it's about infusing even ordinary acts with extraordinary presence. When we bake bread for family, kneading dough and tending the oven, aren't we pouring love into sustenance? When we meticulously organize a document, ensuring clarity, Aren't we showing respect for the recipient and information? This perspective elevates work from a mere means to an end, a way to pay bills, into a sacred act of creation, purpose, and self-expression. This vision stands in stark contrast to much of modern hustle culture, which often reduces work to a relentless pursuit of productivity, profit, or external validation. We're taught to maximize output, optimize efficiency, and climb ladders, often at the expense of well-being and genuine fulfillment. The relentless pressure to grind can strip work of its inherent joy and purpose, transforming it into a draining obligation. This mindset fosters a deep separation between our working self and personal self, as if two distinct entities. But what if they were meant to be integrated, to nourish one another? What if your work could be a direct conduit for your personal growth and deepest values? The tragedy of this separation is it leaves us hollow, even with conventional success, because our spirit hasn't been engaged, our love hasn't been made visible. The beautiful truth is that meaning and artistry aren't exclusive to glamorous professions. They are qualities we bring to our work, not inherent features. Whether you're a coder, a cleaner, a teacher, a carpenter, a caregiver, or customer service, there's within each task an opportunity for artistry. Consider the humble artisan of old who poured their entire being into crafting a functional, yet beautiful object. Their legacy wasn't just the product, but the spirit of their dedication within it. How can you approach your current responsibilities with that same level of care and presence? Can you find the elegant solution, the thoughtful interaction, the precise execution, the empathetic connection? It's about bringing your full attention, creativity, and intention to bear, transforming routine into ritual, obligation into offering. It requires conscious effort, a willingness to look beyond the immediate chore and see the potential for expressing excellence and genuine care. So, how do we begin to cultivate this transformative perspective? Start small. For just one task each day, approach it as if it were a creative offering. Choose any task, no matter how minor, and consciously decide to imbue it with your best self. It could be drafting an email with clarity and grace, tidying your workspace with mindful precision, preparing a simple meal with loving attention, or engaging in a conversation with deep, empathetic listening. Approach it not as something you have to do, but as something you choose to offer, a small masterpiece of your present moment. Ask yourself, how can I make this an expression of my highest intention, most careful attention, deepest respect? This isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about recognizing that even the smallest acts, infused with intention and care, contribute to a larger tapestry of meaning in your life and the world. By doing so, you begin to bridge the chasm between duty and delight, labor and love. In embracing this perspective, we don't just change how we work, we change how we live. We reclaim our agency, infusing our daily lives with purpose and passion that extends beyond the workplace. Work then becomes a profound avenue for self-realization, a canvas upon which we paint our values, dedication, and indeed, our love, making it visible for all to see, and for our own spirit to truly thrive. This isn't just about finding satisfaction, it's about realizing that within the very fabric of our daily efforts lies the profound opportunity to be fully human, fully engaged, and fully alive. Let your work be always a testament to the love within you. Welcome to Chapter 6, on Joy and Sorrow, Two Sides of One Coin. In this segment, we delve into a profound aspect of the human experience, one that many find challenging to reconcile: the inseparable relationship between our moments of elation and our periods of grief. It's a concept that suggests one actually creates the capacity for the other within us, a delicate balance that, when understood, can transform our emotional landscape. Imagine, if you will, the deepest sorrow you've ever felt not as an emptiness that depletes you, but as a sculptor meticulously carving out a space within your very being. This space, initially forged by pain and loss, is not meant to remain void. Instead, it is precisely this cavity, this chasm created by sorrow, that becomes the vessel capable of holding a greater measure of joy. Without the profound hollowing out that sorrow performs, our capacity for true, expansive joy would remain shallow, limited. The depth of our sorrow, then, directly corresponds to the potential depth of our subsequent joy. A superficial sorrow, easily dismissed or ignored, allows for only a superficial joy in return. But a sorrow deeply felt, fully experienced, carves out a cavernous space, ready to be filled with an equally profound delight. It's a beautiful, if initially counterintuitive, metaphor. The very tears that flow are not just signs of pain, but architects building the foundation for future happiness. Yet, our modern culture, perhaps more than any other, seems to possess an almost pathological aversion to sorrow. We are constantly bombarded with messages to be happy, to stay positive, to look on the bright side. When sorrow inevitably arrives, our immediate instinct is often to numb it, to distract ourselves, to push it away with an array of fleeting pleasures, or even to medicate it into oblivion. We fear the discomfort, the vulnerability, the perceived weakness that sorrow seems to represent. But what happens when we consistently avoid or try to suppress our grief, our disappointment, our sadness? We inadvertently diminish our very capacity for joy. By refusing to let sorrow carve its necessary space, we prevent the expansion of our emotional reservoir. We become like a shallow pond, unable to hold the vastness of an ocean, regardless of how much water is poured in. To reject sorrow is, in essence, to reject a part of ourselves, and in doing so, we stunt our emotional growth and restrict the full spectrum of human experience. A truly full and rich life, therefore, demands that we embrace both emotional poles with equal openness. It means allowing ourselves to be fully present in our sorrow, to lean into the discomfort, to acknowledge the pain without judgment or a frantic urge to escape. It means understanding that the same emotional apparatus that allows us to feel immense happiness is the same one that allows us to feel profound sadness. These are not opposing forces in a battle for our soul, but rather two essential notes in the symphony of life, each giving context and meaning to the other. To deny one is to impoverish the other. It is in this radical acceptance that we find strength, resilience, and a deeper understanding of what it means to be alive. Only when we descend into the depths of our own vulnerability can we truly appreciate the heights of our strength and the beauty of recovery. I recall a particularly challenging period in my own life, a time when I felt genuinely lost, grappling with significant personal loss and professional uncertainty. The sadness was a heavy cloak, an almost constant companion. My usual coping mechanisms, distraction, relentless activity, felt futile. For a time, I simply had to sit with the discomfort, to acknowledge the ache, to allow myself to grieve not just the specific losses, but the future I had envisioned that was no longer possible. It was a dark and difficult passage, but through that process, something unexpected happened. As the acute pain began to subside, I found a newfound appreciation for the simplest joys. The warmth of a cup of tea, the laughter of a friend, the quiet beauty of a sunset. These everyday moments, once taken for granted, now resonated with a clarity and intensity I hadn't experienced before. The sorrow had indeed carved out a deeper space, and when joy eventually returned, it filled that space with a brilliance that surpassed anything I had known previously. It wasn't just a return to happiness, it was an expansion of my capacity for it, a profound realization that the difficult journey had not weakened me, but had instead enriched my emotional palate. So, as we reflect on joy and sorrow, let us remember their essential unity. They are not enemies but companions, each holding a key to unlocking the full potential of our hearts. To truly live, to fully experience the beauty and complexity of our existence, we must be willing to open ourselves to both. For it is in embracing the entirety of our emotional experience that we discover the truest, most vibrant expression of life itself. Welcome back. As we continue our exploration of reasoning and truth, it's vital that we also turn our gaze inward, for the pursuit of wisdom isn't merely about understanding the external world, but about mastering our internal landscape. In this chapter, titled On Freedom: Breaking Your Own Chains, we delve into a profound notion that true freedom isn't found in the absence of external rules or obligations, but in an internal state cultivated by consciously overcoming the limitations we ourselves impose. Think for a moment about freedom. What comes to mind? Often, it's the ability to do whatever we want, whenever we want. Yet, as the poet Khalil Gibran so astutely observed, even the desire for freedom can, paradoxically, become its own chain. He suggested that if your desire for freedom is not itself a liberation from your own desires, then that very desire becomes a new kind of bondage, a yoke, a handcuff. We chase after an idealized notion of being unbound, only to find ourselves trapped by the relentless pursuit of an ever-receding horizon, constantly feeling unsatisfied because our current reality doesn't match an often unrealistic expectation of absolute, unrestrained liberty. This constant yearning, this feeling of not yet free, prevents us from experiencing the freedom available to us in the present moment. So, if external constraints aren't the primary barrier, what are these internal prisons we construct? They are numerous, subtle, and often deeply ingrained. Consider the relentless need for approval, for instance. How often do we censor our true thoughts, alter our actions, or stifle our creativity, all out of a profound, unconscious craving for validation from others? This need turns us into performers, constantly seeking applause rather than authentic individuals. Then there's the insidious fear of failure. This fear paralyzes us, preventing us from taking risks, from exploring new paths, from even starting something truly meaningful, simply because the outcome isn't guaranteed. We'd rather remain in the known, comfortable cage of inaction than risk the discomfort of a potential stumble. And what about our attachment to materialism? The ceaseless pursuit of more possessions, the belief that happiness resides in accumulating wealth or status symbols, binds us to a never-ending cycle of acquisition and anxiety. Our desires for these external things dictate our choices, our time, and ultimately, our sense of self-worth, making us slaves to things that can never truly satisfy. These aren't chains forged by an oppressive government or an external authority. They are shackles we fashion ourselves, brick by brick, within the confines of our own minds. They cloud our reason, obscure our judgment, and prevent us from perceiving truth clearly. Real freedom, then, is not the license to simply do whatever one wants, heedless of consequences or responsibility. That kind of unbridled indulgence often leads to chaos, regret, and new forms of dependency. Instead, true freedom is the profound internal capacity to respond to life with an open heart, irrespective of circumstances. It's the ability to choose our attitude, to govern our thoughts, and to direct our will, even when the external world presents challenges or perceived limitations. It's the clarity of mind that allows us to make choices aligned with our deepest values and rational understanding, not merely reacting to fleeting desires or ingrained fears. It's the liberation from the tyranny of our own impulses and anxieties, allowing reason and clear judgment to guide us. This is the freedom Descartes sought in his method, the freedom to perceive truth undistorted by prejudice or passion. So, how do we begin to dismantle these internal prisons? It starts with awareness and then with action. I invite you to take a small, concrete step this week. Identify just one self-imposed limitation that resonates with you. Perhaps it's a fear of speaking up in a certain situation, or a tendency to postpone a creative project because you fear it won't be perfect, or a habit of checking social media for validation. Once you've identified it, choose to deliberately act against that limitation in a small way. If you usually stay silent, offer one opinion in a low-stakes discussion. If you fear starting a project, dedicate just 15 minutes to it without judgment. If you crave external approval, make a conscious choice based purely on your own preference and observe the feeling. This isn't about grand gestures, it's about chipping away at the foundation of these internal walls, one conscious choice at a time. It's about exercising your internal muscle of free will, proving to yourself that you are the master of your own mental domain. By challenging these self-imposed limitations, you begin to break the chains that bind your reason and your spirit, moving closer to a genuine and profound sense of internal freedom. This isn't a destination, but a lifelong practice, a continuous journey of self-discovery and liberation. Welcome back to our journey through Descartes' Discourse on the Method. As we delve into Chapter 8, titled On Pain, the Breaking of the Shell, we pivot from the intricate machinery of reason to a fundamental human experience, often misunderstood and universally dreaded: pain. Yet, within this discourse, we find a profound reinterpretation, presenting pain not as a meaningless affliction to be eradicated at all costs, but as a crucial, even necessary, catalyst for growth and understanding. It is the very force, often unwelcome and harsh, that breaks open the shell of our limited perspective, forcing us to confront deeper truths about ourselves and the world. Consider, if you will, this poignant reflection on the nature of suffering. Though the draught be bitter and the taste linger like ashes, know that the hand that offers it is guided by a wisdom beyond our immediate grasp. For sometimes, the most potent medicines for the soul are not sweet elixirs, but harsh tonics that purge the stagnant and awaken the dormant. It is in the very act of swallowing, of enduring the acrid burn, that the path to true healing, to a clearer vision, is forged. This evocative imagery, comparing pain to a doctor's bitter potion, immediately shifts our perception. It positions discomfort not as an error in the system, but as a deliberate, albeit painful, intervention. It implies a grander design, a purpose even in what feels most disruptive. This isn't to say we seek pain, or that all suffering is inherently good, but rather that its presence can serve a vital function in our development. Just as a physical ailment might require an unpleasant remedy to restore health, so too might the ailments of the spirit, our complacency, our ignorance, or our fear, necessitate a forceful, uncomfortable shake-up. This perspective naturally leads us to the concept of trusting the physician within during difficult times. When confronted with pain, whether physical, emotional, or existential, our immediate instinct is often to resist, to recoil, to demand its cessation. But what if instead we paused? What if we listened, not to the clamor of the pain itself, but to what it might be trying to communicate? The physician within represents our innate capacity for resilience, for introspection, for self-healing. It is the part of us that recognizes the warning, the signal, the call for change. Trusting this inner guide means acknowledging the discomfort without being overwhelmed by it, allowing it to guide us towards necessary adjustments in our thinking, our habits, or our perception of reality. It is a profound act of self-awareness, allowing the discomfort to serve as a teacher rather than solely as an adversary. This brings us to a fascinating contrast between this deeper understanding of pain and the prevailing impulse in many modern societies to immediately eliminate all discomfort. Khalil Gibran, in his timeless wisdom, often spoke of joy and sorrow as inseparable twins, two sides of the same coin, each defining the other. He suggested that the deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. This view is profoundly countercultural to an age that often seeks to medicate, distract, or simply numb any sensation of distress. We are conditioned to view happiness as the absence of pain and success as a life free from struggle. However, Gibran, much like the essence of this chapter, challenges us to see pain not as an anomaly to be eradicated, but as an integral thread in the tapestry of life. To deny pain its place is to deny a part of our own growth, to refuse the very chisels that sculpt our character. The immediate impulse to eliminate all discomfort, while understandable from a superficial perspective, often deprives us of the profound insights and strengths that emerge only through navigating struggle. It builds a fragile shell around us, preventing the true breaking and expansion that Gibran and other great thinkers advocate. Beyond its personal transformative power, pain also serves as a potent universal human experience, connecting us in ways that joy often cannot. While our joys can be highly individualized, our sorrows, our moments of struggle, resonate across cultures, across generations, across all divides. Who among us has not known loss, disappointment, or a deep sense of yearning? This shared vulnerability, this commonality of suffering, fosters a profound sense of compassion. When we understand pain not just as our own isolated burden, but as a fundamental aspect of the human condition that others also navigate, our empathy expands. It allows us to look upon a stranger with a renewed sense of understanding, to offer solace not from a place of pity, but from a shared recognition of the delicate, yet incredibly resilient, nature of the human spirit. It is in these moments of shared understanding that our shells truly break open, not just individually, but collectively, revealing the interconnectedness of all beings. Pain, paradoxically, can be the very force that binds us closer, urging us towards greater kindness and mutual support. So, as we conclude this exploration of On Pain, the Breaking of the Shell, let us reframe our understanding. Pain is not a sign of failure nor solely a curse. It is an often unpleasant, yet undeniably powerful architect of character. It is the bitter potion that purifies, the inner physician that guides, the sculptor that refines. It is the catalyst that forces us to shatter our complacency, to move beyond our limited perspectives, and to ultimately expand into a richer, more compassionate, and profoundly human existence. To truly live, it seems, is to sometimes allow the shell to break and to embrace the vulnerable, expansive self that emerges. We now turn our attention to Chapter 9, on self-knowledge, embracing your whole self. After meticulously navigating the intricate landscapes of reason and method, we arrive at a profound, perhaps even more challenging, frontier, the exploration of our inner world. Just as Descartes sought to establish foundational truths about the external world and the nature of knowledge itself, this chapter invites us to apply a similar rigor to understanding the self, not merely as a rational agent, but as a complex tapestry of experiences, thoughts, and emotions. The journey of self-discovery, much like the scientific method, demands an unwavering commitment to truth, even when that truth reveals aspects of ourselves we might prefer to ignore. It requires acknowledging and integrating all parts of who we are, the noble and the flawed, the God and the scoundrel, without the heavy burden of judgment. Descartes, in his methodical pursuit of certainty, implicitly confronted the duality of human nature. While his primary focus was on the intellect and its capacity for clear and distinct ideas, his very method of systematic doubt, of peeling back layers of preconceived notions and sensory deceptions, underscores a fundamental tension within us. There is the rational mind, capable of profound insight and logical deduction, striving for absolute clarity, and then there are the passions, the prejudices, the bodily influences that can cloud our judgment and lead us astray. This isn't about assigning moral value, but recognizing the distinct forces at play within our being. The discourse reveals a human mind that, while capable of astonishing feats of reason, is also inherently fallible, susceptible to error, and influenced by a myriad of factors beyond pure logic. Understanding this inherent duality, the potential for both profound understanding and profound self-deception, is the crucial first step in genuine self-knowledge. It's about acknowledging the intricate interplay between our rational capacities and our human vulnerabilities, without seeking to eradicate one for the sake of the other. Crucially, self-knowledge, when approached with the spirit of Descartes' method, is not about a relentless campaign to fix perceived flaws or to excise inconvenient traits. Instead, it is a profound journey of understanding the whole self. Imagine an artisan carefully examining a complex mechanism. Their goal isn't to remove a gear because it sometimes grinds, but to understand why it grinds, how it interacts with the other components, and what role it plays in the overall system. Similarly, our mission in self-knowledge is not to achieve some idealized, flawless version of ourselves, but to gain a clear and distinct understanding of all our internal workings. It's about observing our reactions, our motivations, our patterns of thought and emotion, and seeing them as integral parts of our unique being. This non-judgmental observation fosters acceptance, allowing us to move beyond the internal struggle of self-condemnation and towards a more complete and integrated sense of self. This rigorous introspection, a deep dive into our inner landscape, is not just an intellectual exercise, it is a profound path to peace. Just as Descartes retreated into solitude to systematically rebuild his understanding of the world from the ground up, we too can find solace and clarity in moments of quiet self-reflection. When we courageously confront our own scoundrel elements, our insecurities, our impulses, our irrational fears, and observe them without the immediate urge to change or deny, we begin to disarm their power over us. This creates an inner spaciousness, a newfound tranquility that comes from understanding and accepting the full spectrum of our humanity. It's a peace born not of ignorance or suppression, but of profound self-awareness, where the internal cacophony of judgment is replaced by the quiet hum of acceptance. For those eager to embark on this foundational journey of self-exploration, a powerful and accessible tool awaits: journaling. Much like Descartes meticulously documented his philosophical progress and the steps of his method, journaling provides a structured yet entirely personal means of exploring your inner world honestly. It's a private laboratory for your thoughts, a confidential space where you can lay bare your raw emotions, your unspoken fears, your grandest aspirations, and your most embarrassing blunders. There's no need for eloquence or perfect grammar. The sole purpose is unfiltered expression. By consistently putting pen to paper or fingers to keyboard, you create a tangible record of your internal landscape. You can track patterns, identify triggers, challenge assumptions, and witness your own growth. This practice cultivates a deeper relationship with yourself, allowing you to observe your internal dialogues, to question your automatic responses, and ultimately, to move towards a more authentic and integrated way of being. Journaling becomes your personal discourse on the method for understanding the most complex subject of all, you. It is through this diligent, honest self-inquiry that we truly embrace our whole self, paving the way for a richer, more peaceful existence. Welcome back to our exploration of the discourse on method asterisk. While Descartes meticulously charted the path to rightly conducting reason and seeking truth, the human spirit that embarks on this journey also requires its own sustenance and sanctuary. This brings us to a profound, often understated aspect of human existence: friendship. It is in the fertile ground of genuine connection that our capacities for deep thought and self-discovery truly flourish. Imagine a statement so simple, yet utterly comprehensive: your friend is your needs answered. This isn't just a poetic turn of phrase. It elevates friendship to a spiritual plane, a sacred space of mutual support and profound understanding. What needs are answered? Beyond the pragmatic, it's the deeper cravings of the soul, unconditional acceptance, validation of our truest self, a safe harbor where vulnerabilities are not just tolerated, but embraced. A true friend mirrors our best intentions, calms our fears, and accompanies us on the often solitary path of self-knowledge. They answer the need to be truly seen beyond societal masks, the need for belonging, a rootedness amidst life's uncertainties. Here, we find not just companionship, but spiritual replenishment, a quiet sustenance for heart and mind. One telling sign of such profound connection is the comfort found in silence. Consider friendships where words aren't always necessary, where the air isn't heavy with unspoken expectations, but light with shared understanding. This comfortable silence testifies to trust so deep it transcends constant verbal performance. It signifies mutual presence, an intuitive connection speaking volumes without a sound. In these moments, we simply asterisk our asterisk. No pressure to entertain, impress, or fill voids. It's a space where thoughts drift, emotions settle, and two souls rest alongside each other, profoundly connected, yet utterly free. Such quiet moments foster introspection, unburdened by social pressures, allowing our reason to clarify amidst the gentle hum of accepted presence. Now contrast this profound depth with the often cacophonous landscape of modern social networks. While these platforms offer vast connection and information, they frequently fall short of the spiritual nourishment true friendship provides. On digital stages, we curate idealized versions of ourselves, performing for an audience, seeking external validation in likes and shares. The emphasis shifts from asterisk being known asterisk to asterisk being seen asterisk, often creating an illusion of intimacy without true substance. We scroll through curated highlights, fostering inadequacy or FOMO, rather than the restorative peace of genuine belonging. These networks, while connecting us broadly, can paradoxically isolate our deepest selves, rarely providing that sacred space to drop our guard and exist without judgment. So, how do we navigate a modern world rich in superficial ties yet starved for true intimacy? The answer lies in consciously appreciating and diligently nurturing genuine friendships already present. Take time to truly listen, not just to respond. Be present physically and emotionally. Cultivate vulnerability, daring to share your truest thoughts and feelings, knowing this sacred space can hold them. Invest your time and energy not just in casual acquaintances, but in those rare individuals offering that unique blend of acceptance, challenge, and comfort. In a world demanding constant attention and performance, true friendship offers a sanctuary, a spiritual retreat. Here, embraced by those who truly know us, we find strength, clarity, and emotional fortitude to continue our philosophical journey of rightly conducting reason and seeking truth. Let us cherish these invaluable bonds, for they are not just companions, but essential wellsprings of our very being. Welcome to Chapter 11 on Death, the Secret of Life. Throughout our discourse, we've navigated reason's labyrinth, seeking truth, dissecting thought, and understanding our place. Now we arrive at life's most profound mystery, death, often shrouded in fear, perceived as an abrupt cessation, an ultimate end. But what if this perception is incomplete? What if, in our earnest pursuit of truth, we discover death is not antithesis, but an intrinsic, indispensable part of life's essence? This chapter invites a shift to view death not as a fearsome void, but as a natural, integral component of life's grand cycle, a profound merging with the greater whole. Consider the serene journey of a river. From humble origins, it flows ever onward, carving its path, nourishing life, gathering momentum. Each drop, a unique expression, contributes to its mighty current. Inevitably, majestically, the river reaches its ultimate destination, the boundless ocean. There, its distinct identity, its individual current, doesn't vanish into nothingness, but expands, diffuses, and becomes one with the immeasurable expanse. The river doesn't end, it transforms. It returns to the source from which all waters originate, becoming an inseparable part of a vast, eternal flow. Its unique journey dissolves not into oblivion, but into a greater, unifying whole, enriching the ocean with all it has gathered. This metaphor, gentle and profound, offers crucial insight. If we perceive our lives as that flowing river, then our passing, our death, is not annihilation, but a homecoming, a return to the infinite ocean of existence. When we embrace this perspective, accepting mortality as a natural, cyclical transition, a remarkable liberation occurs. The fear that often paralyzes us, the anxiety of what lies beyond, begins to dissipate. In its place, a profound peace can settle. More powerfully, this acceptance inspires us to live more fully, more authentically in the precious moments we are given. When the illusion of endless time recedes, the urgency to cherish each breath, each connection, each experience becomes beautifully clear. We are compelled to shed masks, pursue passions with renewed vigor, express love without reservation, and leave our unique, meaningful mark, knowing our individual current contributes to life's grand tapestry. Indeed, the notion of life and death as stark opposites begins to dissolve. Just as day gives way to night, they are not adversaries, but two inextricable aspects of the same continuous reality, two sides of a single coin. One cannot exist without the other. They define each other, making each meaningful. Death is not the absence of life, but a necessary condition for its renewal, its evolution. It is the turning of the page, the completion of a chapter, allowing new stories to unfold, new forms to emerge. It is the grand recycler, ensuring energy and consciousness transform rather than simply vanish. Our individual life is a wave upon the ocean. It rises, crests, and returns to the ocean, only to become part of countless new waves. In this view, there is no true ending, only an unending process of transformation, an eternal dance of being and becoming. As we draw this discourse to a close, at least for its main philosophical explorations, let us carry this profound truth: the secret of life is intricately woven with the acceptance of death. It is in embracing our fleeting nature that we unlock the deepest appreciation for our existence, finding serenity not in clinging to individual form, but in understanding our inherent connection to the infinite. May this contemplation foster within you a sense of hope, a unifying understanding of our shared journey, and a deep, abiding peace as you continue your own reasoned exploration of truth. For in the grand tapestry of existence, every thread, every life, every moment is eternally cherished, forever part of the boundless whole. Welcome to the Prophet's Path, a 7-day action plan. We've journeyed through Descartes' profound discourse on the method, exploring the foundations of reason and the pursuit of truth. Now it's time to translate that invaluable wisdom into tangible, daily practice. This plan offers one small, actionable step each day for a week, guiding you towards a more intentional, reasoned, and fulfilling life. Think of it as applying a methodical approach, not just to abstract problems, but to the very art of living with greater clarity. Sixth Day 1. The act of love. Your first step is simple yet powerful. Perform one selfless act of love. This isn't about grand gestures or dramatic sacrifices, but rather about extending kindness without expectation. It could be offering a genuine compliment, helping a stranger with a small task, listening intently to a friend without interrupting, or simply doing something thoughtful for a loved one. The goal is to gently shift your focus from immediate self-concern, fostering connection, and experiencing the quiet joy that comes from altruism. This practice helps open your perspective, much like Descartes sought to clear the mind of preconceptions to see truth more clearly. Asks Day 2. Presence in work. Task for Day 2. We turn to your work, whatever form it takes. Your task is to find one moment of creative presence in your work. This isn't about being productive, but about being present. Whether you're writing an email, preparing a meal, designing a report, or engaging in a physical task, choose one specific instance and immerse yourself fully. Pay attention to the details, the sensory experience, the flow of your actions. Let go of distractions and the urge to rush. This deliberate focus cultivates a quality of attention that mirrors the careful, step-by-step reasoning Descartes championed, enhancing both clarity and fulfillment in your efforts. Day 3. The gift of time. Task. On Day 3, your action is to give your time or attention freely. In our fast-paced world, these are perhaps our most precious commodities. This could mean dedicating a few minutes to truly listen to someone without offering advice, volunteering a small portion of your day to a cause you care about, or simply being fully present and engaged in a conversation without multitasking. The intention is to offer yourself unreservedly without seeking anything in return. This practice broadens your human experience, allowing you to connect authentically and deeply, fostering a sense of community that nourishes the individual spirit. Day 4. Embracing feeling. This day might feel a little more challenging, but it is deeply enriching. Your task is to sit with a difficult feeling for 5 minutes without judgment. We often try to distract ourselves from discomfort, anxiety, sadness, frustration, anger. Instead, choose a quiet moment and simply observe whatever challenging emotion arises. Don't try to fix it, analyze it, or push it away. Just acknowledge its presence, notice where you feel it in your body, and allow it to be there. This mindful acceptance is a profound act of self-awareness, a crucial step in understanding the intricate landscape of your inner world, allowing you to develop a more reasoned and compassionate relationship with yourself. Day 5. Facing fear. Day 5 invites you to confront a personal barrier. Take one tiny step to face a fear. Again, this isn't about heroics. If you fear public speaking, maybe it's just practicing a few sentences aloud in front of a mirror. If you fear rejection, perhaps it's sending one email you've been putting off. If you fear heights, stand a little closer to a railing than usual. The key is tiny step, something manageable, but just outside your comfort zone. Each small act of courage builds momentum, expanding your sphere of freedom and demonstrating to yourself that your limits are often more perceived than real, much like Descartes encouraged us to question accepted truths to find new ground. Day 6. Inner world exploration. On day 6, we delve into the heart of introspection. Your action is to journal for 10 minutes about your inner world. This isn't a to-do list or a diary of events. It's an exploration. Ask yourself, what thoughts are dominating my mind today? What emotions am I truly feeling? What assumptions am I making? What values are guiding my decisions? Just write freely, without editing or censoring. This consistent practice of reflective writing helps to clarify your thoughts, identify patterns, and gain a deeper understanding of your own consciousness, a vital skill for anyone committed to reasoning clearly and living authentically. Day 7. The stillness of being. Our week culminates in an exercise in pure presence. For 15 minutes, spend time in complete silence, away from all distractions, simply being. Find a quiet spot, put away your phone, close your laptop, turn off the music. Don't meditate in a structured way unless that comes as naturally. Just sit or lie down. Observe your breath, the sounds around you, the sensations in your body, without attaching judgment or narrative. Let thoughts come and go without grasping onto them. This immersion in stillness allows your mind to settle, offering a profound sense of peace and mental clarity, a clean slate from which to perceive the world anew, much as Descartes sought a clear and distinct foundation for knowledge. This prophet's path isn't about perfection, but about intention and consistency. Each small step, taken consciously, builds upon the last, gradually weaving the wisdom of reason, thought, and compassionate, living into the fabric of your everyday existence. Embrace these practices with an open heart and a curious mind, and observe the subtle, yet profound, shifts they bring to your life. Continue to ask questions, continue to seek truth, and continue to live a life imbued with purpose and clarity. Welcome back, truth seekers. As we conclude our exploration inspired by Descartes' profound discourse on the method of rightly conducting the reason and seeking truth in the sciences, it's vital to distill its essence not just into intellectual understanding, but into actionable wisdom for a truly meaningful existence. For all its rigor and philosophical depth, the ultimate aim of such a discourse is to illuminate a path towards a life lived with clarity, purpose, and genuine insight. We've journeyed through the labyrinth of doubt, the search for foundational certainty, and the power of systematic reasoning. Now, let's bring these abstract principles down to earth, encapsulating the profound practical truths that emerge when we commit to truly conducting our reason and seeking truth in the grand science of living. These aren't just concepts to ponder, they are invitations to transform your experience of life itself. First, and perhaps most challenging, is the truth to embrace the whole asterisk. Our innate human tendency often leads us to pursue only joy, comfort, and ease, while shying away from sorrow, pain, and difficulty. Yet, a life lived with authentic reason and genuine truth-seeking reveals that these experiences are not separate adversaries, but interconnected facets of a single, rich tapestry. Joy and sorrow, love and pain, triumph and struggle, they are intrinsically linked, each informing and deepening the other. To deny one is to diminish the other. To cut off a part of life's spectrum is to lose the vividness of the entire picture. It's in the contrast, in the interplay of light and shadow, that the true beauty and complexity of our journey become apparent. Embracing the whole means cultivating a profound sense of acceptance for every chapter, every emotion, every challenge that life presents. It's not a passive resignation, but an active, conscious integration, understanding that resilience is forged in adversity, empathy blossoms from shared suffering, and the deepest joys are often found precisely because we have navigated moments of profound sadness. To fully live, to truly understand, we must welcome all of life's guests, knowing that each brings a unique lesson and contributes to the fullness of our being, making our existence not just bearable, but robust, meaningful, and deeply human. This holistic embrace is a cornerstone of living truthfully, for truth encompasses all realities, not just the comfortable ones. Secondly, we arrive at the liberating truth to find the sacred in the everyday asterisk. The relentless pursuit of truth, when applied to our immediate reality, shifts our perception from the mundane to the miraculous. Often, we are conditioned to believe that the sacred resides only in grand temples, mystical rituals, or moments of extraordinary revelation. But a thoughtful, reasoned approach reveals that the divine, the profound, the deeply meaningful is perpetually interwoven into the fabric of our daily existence. Your home, your work, your relationships, the simple act of preparing a meal, a walk in nature, the quiet contemplation of a sunrise or a busy street, these are not mere backdrops to life. They are, in fact, your most accessible temples, your most immediate connection to the divine spark of existence. By bringing mindful attention, gratitude, and a genuine presence to these seemingly ordinary moments, we elevate them. We begin to perceive the intricate dance of cause and effect, the beauty in imperfection, the profound lessons hidden in routine. Your daily interactions become opportunities for love and understanding. Your work transforms from a chore into a creative expression or a contribution to the world. Your very life, in its everyday unfolding, becomes a continuous prayer, a living meditation, a direct conduit to deeper meaning. This isn't about imposing a spiritual belief system, but about recognizing the inherent wonder and interconnectedness that rigorous, truthful observation reveals within the commonplace. It's about consciously choosing to see the extraordinary within the ordinary, thereby transforming your entire world into a sacred space rich with discovery and purpose. And finally, the third profound truth encourages us to ask, be a conduit, not a container askisk. If we truly embrace the whole of life and find the sacred in its everyday expression, our perspective naturally shifts from acquisition to flow. There's a natural human tendency to accumulate, to hold on to what we perceive as ours, our resources, our knowledge, our love, our creativity. We act as if life's gifts are meant to be contained, secured, and possessed. However, the deeper wisdom, accessible through clear reasoning about the nature of existence, suggests otherwise. We are not meant to be static reservoirs, but dynamic channels. Our purpose is to be vessels through which life's abundant gifts, love, compassion, children, creativity, wisdom, resources, joy itself flow into the world, touching others and enriching the collective. When we attempt to contain these gifts, they stagnate, losing their vitality and limiting our own potential for further growth. But when we allow them to flow through us, we become part of a larger, generative process. We experience true abundance not by hoarding, but by giving freely. To be a conduit is to understand that we are interconnected threads in the grand tapestry of life. Our greatest fulfillment comes not from what we keep, but from what we share, what we nurture, what we allow to manifest through us for the benefit of all. This is not about self-sacrifice in a diminishing sense, but about self-realization in an expansive one, understanding that our greatest joy and deepest purpose are found in becoming a vibrant channel for life's continuous, generous outpouring. These three truths: to embrace the whole, find the sacred in the everyday, and be a conduit, not a container, emerge as cornerstones for a life lived with profound intention and clarity. They are the practical dividends of a commitment to seeking truth and conducting reason, not just in abstract thought, but in the very concrete reality of our lived experience. May this summary serve as a memorable compass, guiding you towards a life rich with meaning, connection, and purposeful flow. As we bring our exploration of Descartes' Discourse on the method to a close, remember that this journey of understanding is far from over. What we've discussed today is merely an invitation, a starting point for your own profound engagement with a text that shaped the very foundations of modern thought. René Descartes didn't just present a method for scientific inquiry. He laid out a blueprint for independent thinking, for questioning assumptions, and for building knowledge on a bedrock of reason and clarity. Now it's your turn to truly delve into the heart of his ideas. I wholeheartedly encourage you to read, or even reread, Discourse on the method for yourself. Experience Descartes' own words, his meticulous reasoning, and his revolutionary quest for certainty firsthand. Don't rely solely on interpretations, including my own. Approach the text with your own critical mind, allow its arguments to challenge your preconceptions, and discover the unique insights that will inevitably emerge for you personally. Perhaps you'll find new depth in his provisional moral code, or a fresh perspective on his famous cogito, ergo sum. The beauty of such foundational works lies in their enduring capacity to spark individual epiphanies, offering different truths to different minds at different stages of their own intellectual journey. Let Descartes guide you, but let your own reason be your ultimate compass. As you reflect on our discussion and perhaps ponder your own reading of the Discourse, I'd love to hear from you. Which specific principle, which piece of wisdom, or which aspect of Descartes' method resonated with you the most deeply? Was it the call to accept nothing as true that is not clearly and distinctly perceived? Was it the imperative to divide complex problems into simpler parts? Or perhaps his emphasis on the rigorous order of thought? Share your thoughts, your personal revelations, and your questions in the comments section below. Your insights not only enrich our collective understanding, but also foster a vibrant community of seekers dedicated to intellectual growth. If you've found value in this deep dive into timeless wisdom, and if you're eager to continue exploring the philosophical underpinnings of our world, then I warmly invite you to subscribe to this channel. By subscribing, you'll ensure you don't miss future explorations into the profound texts and ideas that continue to shape modern living. We're committed to bringing you more opportunities to engage with the greatest minds in history, translating their insights into practical wisdom for the challenges and opportunities of today. Join our growing community of curious minds, all striving for greater clarity and understanding in an increasingly complex world. Hit that subscribe button and become a part of our ongoing intellectual adventure. Finally, if this exploration of Descartes' quest for truth has enlightened you, sparked a new line of thought, or simply offered a moment of intellectual reflection, consider sharing this video. Think of a friend, a family member, or a colleague who might also benefit from its message, someone wrestling with the nature of truth, seeking clarity in their own reasoning, or simply appreciating a rigorous approach to knowledge. Sharing wisdom is one of the most powerful ways to amplify its impact. Let's spread the light of clear reason and critical inquiry together. Pass on the torch of independent thought, encouraging others to embark on their own journeys of intellectual discovery. Thank you for joining me on this profound journey through Descartes' Discourse. May your own pursuit of truth be ever illuminated by reason, clarity, and an unwavering commitment to genuine understanding. Keep questioning, keep learning, and keep conducting your reason rightly. The journey continues.